Okay, we have implemented all the features of the application in the initial requirements document. Now we can always extend this application and add more features, but that's really not required for the purpose of this course. Because in this course, I want you to learn the fundamentals of building single-page applications with ASP.NET Core and Angular. So in this lecture, we're going to improve the performance of the query for getting the list of vehicles. So let's go to vehicle repository. Here we're eager loading a bunch of objects, but on the vehicles list, we're not displaying the vehicle's features. We're only displaying their makes and models. So because we copied this code from the getVehicle method, we ended up with these two extra lines here. So that's the danger of copy pasting code. Delete. Now the other thing I want to point out here is the structure of this code. So look over here, we're implementing filtering. Then we define our dictionary and pass it to apply ordering method for sorting. Next, we count the number of records in the database. And finally, we apply paging. Now, in terms of the code structure, sorting and paging are implemented at a higher level of abstraction. What I mean by that is that we have encapsulated the details of ordering and paging inside these methods. So we are at a higher level of abstraction. Now, in contrast, look at how we have implemented filtering. Here you can see the details of filtering implementation. So in this case, we are at a lower level of abstraction. Now, as a best practice, we should make sure that different parts of this method are at the same level of abstraction. So they are all at the higher level of abstraction, or they're all at a lower level of abstraction. To implement this, we basically need to encapsulate these few lines inside a separate method, like apply filtering. That would be an extension to iQueryable of vehicle, because here we're dealing specifically with vehicle objects. So it's not something that we can implement using generics like apply ordering and apply paging. So let's go ahead and refactor this code. So in the extensions folder, let's open up iQueryable extensions. Here is our generic apply ordering method. I'm going to add a new method. So public static iQueryable of vehicle, because we're dealing specifically with vehicle objects, and call it apply filtering. Now it takes an iQueryable of vehicle and we call it query. And here as a second parameter, we should have vehicle query. And we call this query object. Okay, now back in the repository, I'm going to cut these lines here and paste them here. And finally return this modified query object. Now back in the repository, here we set query to query.apply filtering, and we pass this query object here. Okay, now note that all these parts are at the same level of abstraction. We apply filtering, we apply ordering, and we apply paging. Now I can make this code a little bit cleaner by removing this vertical white space between apply ordering and the definition of the dictionary, because these are highly related. So we want to keep them close together. All right, we're done with this method. Next, we're going to look at another refactoring.